I wasn't going to make this video because I didn't feel like capitalizing or using someone's tragedies or death anymore to get clicks and views off this type of content. And we're talking obviously about, as the title says, Charlie Kirk's assassination. But I did see a lot of comments in my last video and people want my opinion, which is funny. I guess, you know what, maybe I will give my take on this. But at the same time, my take on this is very conflicted. I mean, I'm conflicted with what's going on in America with the left and right, politics, Israel, social media, and the difference also that you're going to see with my take to maybe how you think. Part of me, when I first heard about Charlie Kirk, to be honest with you, I crashed out. I mean, I'll be honest, I did crash out on my Twitter account because I'm so pissed off, I think, and so disillusioned and just so over all of this and just the whole left and right and Trump and Israel and industrial military complex and the reptilian shapeshifters that I just tried to make a joke of it now and say fuck it all, because part of me 90% of the time just thinks I don't give a shit anymore, because caring about this stuff is just, as gay as it sounds, it's hard. It's like, it's just because you feel, unless you're some left-wing, completely brainwashed far left. I shouldn't say left-wing. That's another thing, too, which I want to get into, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm trying to pace this video so I get all my thoughts and everything out completely on such an important topic. But I'm just so tired of, the bullshit of far left, far right, and social media manipulating everybody, and the social media, there's a lot of parallels between, Call of Duty clickbait, rage bait, to, speak to my Call of Duty audience, so you guys understand what I mean, about how they can skew stats and give their perspectives and give you clickbait titles and tell you all sensationalized bullshit to push their agenda, which is based in some truths. Everything's always based in truths. Like a good lie always has some truth to it, usually. But the political world now is even worse than Call of Duty rage bait, whether it be left or right. I mean, I see, for example, people like the Stephen King guy I just saw last night, trying to discredit Charlie Kirk, and a lot of people trying to minimize him as a person. And personally, I wasn't a big follower of him. I'm not really a big follower of anybody anymore. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just sort of over all of this. I find it all just kind of bullshit. And like I said, people online, these people pushing political ideologies and are social media grifters like Hassan on the far left, and I don't know, man. On the right, I mean, even people like Tucker Carlson, there's not really anybody, I was trying to say, who seems to be unbiased or, just trying to get to the truth of things. But anyways, my point was that Stephen King and other people taking his Charlie Kirk quotes out of context, where even Grok is fact-checking him, trying to say that he was for this or for that. And then when you hear the whole quote and the whole actual speech, then it doesn't make sense. And he's not actually saying anything crazy. And a lot of the stuff that this Charlie Kirk guy apparently did, like I said, self-admittedly wasn't a huge follower of anybody anymore because everybody's pushing an agenda, it seems. But when you look at what actually Charlie Kirk did as a person, it seems to be a lot of positivity. And obviously there are things that probably are said that people aren't going to agree with. And that's fine. That's also an issue we need to talk about here, guys, is the whole foundation of a Western democracy is founded on free speech. And free speech doesn't mean being able to say things that everyone agrees with. Free speech is the whole important point, rather, of free speech, is being able to hear and see and say things that will upset you, and then having to accept that and either debate it or move on. And I did see a quote online by this golf guy who I don't even like, Brandel Chambly, said that they killed you because they couldn't debate you. And that seems to be what I find. I am going to be a little bit biased here, maybe, but forthright, this is how I feel coming at you. I do feel that the left is fucking nuts, the far left, and even just the left in general. I'll give an example of just how people on the left have been absolutely, they're I told my friends too, they're like Manchurian candidates. The movie Manchurian Candidate, Denzel Washington, or an MK Ultra agent, or Jason Bourne, they send some code through a phone. It's beep, bop, boop, 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 agent, sleeper agent activated, and they walk around like zombies that have been brainwashed. And I feel that's what the left is like. I went golfing the day of Charlie Kirk getting killed. And there's this guy I was playing with some randos, and the guy literally said to me, he's 28 years old, And he said like, oh, I wish it was Ben Shapiro first. Like, the dude's just some regular guy out here, and like that right there, that point he said, how he said that. And myself, I didn't say anything because I'm going to get into it like a fight with somebody and start body slamming fucking people on the golf course and get banned and go to jail. So I didn't say anything because I knew where this argument was going to go, and I didn't want to go in there because, you know what? I don't care if you're left or right. I don't care if you're freaking trans. I don't care if you got 4 dicks coming out of you and you had 18 surgeries to change yourself and your identity to a unicorn. I don't care. I really don't. And I don't care if you're on the far right and you think that, you know what, it's not 6 million, it's 250,000, if you know what I'm talking about. I got to be QQ on that. But like what I do care about is people that are brainwashed to the point where they are openly celebrating, or not even celebrating, but openly saying things where it's like, oh, I wish this person got killed first, so because I don't agree with anything they said. Like, what has even Ben Shapiro even said or done that is so crazy that you would actually say that, or say like, not even be like, yeah, it sucks that guy died, but be more so like, I wish that it was someone else first. Like, that's just absolutely nuts. Like, these guys literally were just political, or Charlie is just a political pundit that went around and debated people and was, I understandably, I guess he would consider him, or would be considered to be controversial, but not really. I mean, I would look at the things he said. I used to watch some of his videos. He go around debate people at colleges, and I think honestly the real answer is people can't debate anybody and they just rather kill you. Like, if you really honestly, like literally, like, I don't mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be biased, and I really feel the point I'm coming from is actually authentic. If you look at these people who are left-wing people, nowadays, they don't seem to have any kind of logical cognitive abilities to like, how many times do we see videos where if you see a person go up and talk to people at liberal colleges or left-wing colleges, and then their actual like left-wing ideologies and what they tend to believe are then challenged, they literally just shut down like a Microsoft error, like doom doom doom, and then I don't want to continue this conversation anymore. And I even see with my own parents, and intelligence is not even a factor here, folks. Like, being smart or dumb doesn't even matter for this to happen to people. It's absolutely crazy. Like, my own parents, who are, my dad and mom, I think probably even have higher IQ than I do, which is pretty impossible because I'm pretty smart. I find people like, even them, they don't, if you start to challenge them on their thoughts and whatnot, you can see the cognitive dissonance. You can see the like computer error going on in their brains where they just like fucking have a short circuit. And I'm not saying the right is somehow so much better, like, oh yeah, but I don't see that occurring as much in the right. And then I also saw this article in a left-leaning paper that shows that the left wing now has the least diverse abilities for thoughts and actual understanding and actual tolerance is the actual word I'm looking for in ideas and people than the right. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's really obvious. And this is also why I had started the video off by saying that, when I'm just tired of all this bullshit, and I sort of just crashed out and just made jokes of the whole situation, Charlie Kirk, because I was trying to have a way of coping with it, is because you look at social media, and I feel like it's just a hopeless cause at this point. I mean, how are you going to talk to people when you literally have people online, like a Stephen King is just an example, but many others did the exact same thing, who are openly lying and misrepresenting quotes to try to make their side look good and disparage a guy who was just assassinated? I mean, I couldn't believe this, though. This was a big shocker. The New York Yankees held like a moment of silence for the guy and actually gave some respect and props to Charlie Kirk and I guess his foundation that he did for kids and whatnot. But I look at, I go on social media, and honestly, like, once again, social media I don't think is real life. But there's a lot of people out there who do take it as real life, and then they go and shoot this guy in the neck at a rally at the Utah Valley University there, and I guess Salt Lake City or wherever it was, Provo. I used to live in Utah, that's why I know those cities. But like I said, I've got a lot of conflicting and confusing ideas in my head about this whole situation, because part of me feels like, the whole fight mentality, but again, at the same time, I'm just like, fuck it all, man, because this is all just trash and nothing's going to change, and nothing is going to change until, well, I don't really want to say what I want to say on social media because I don't want to end up on a real list, but like, all this talk ain't going to do nothing. There needs to be a lot of action, because talking is over for anybody. I don't care which side you're on. And the other side that people are on seem to be the ones doing a lot of action. I mean, they're going out there and just getting crazy. But they're crazy for the wrong reasons. They're attacking people, not the system. Like, you're literally attacking a guy who is speaking his opinion. Like, that's where we're at right now. We're at the point where people like honestly, at the same time too, we really need to people need to be held accountable. Like MSNBC, there's a guy goes on there and says that perhaps maybe it was a supporter who got excited and shot his gun. Like, that is literally the level of gaslighting and craziness going on. I mean, like, that's the point. Like, this is put that there. Literally, a guy on MSNBC comes out and says, perhaps maybe it was just a supporter who got excited and shot his gun off and hit him. Like, that is the gaslighting and insanity that the left-wing media, and also, you know what, listen, the right's not saints either. They do a lot of bullshit too, and that's my point as well. Like, we're casting dispersions here, but at the same time, we're in glass houses. We need to all be honest about what's happening. And once again, a lot of political grifters online that rile up their own side. And also, I mean, I see a lot of accounts spreading fake information and news, trying to push their agendas as well. From Elon Musk to all these, like, chief nerds, social media accounts, and all these other right-wing people as well are guilty as firing up their side and spreading bullshit too. And people need to cut that out, and we need to start being honest. But my point is like, you could look at that little microcosm of a left-wing media going, they might have been popping caps and hit them accidentally, as like actual, like, that's how crazy the left has gotten as well. Like, if there is a meter of bullshit, that meter is way more on the left, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not even trying to be biased. I don't give a damn about anything in this world but the truth. And that really is what I can see as, I don't want to say my truth. I hate my truth. That just means like, hey, I'm not ready to face reality, so I'm going to make up my own truth. But that's what I see, is that the left has gone nuts, and they have been brainwashed by the media. And it's almost like as if it's, like I said, a Manchurian candidate. And there's in social media, and that's another reason why I crashed out, is because things are just going to get worse because people are tribal, and social media amplifies that tribalism, obviously, exponentially. But I'd like to just get back to the main point, and that is Charlie Kirk, a guy that seemed like a pretty decent dude who had controversial takes for some and common sense for others, literally lives in the world, and we live in a world where people are so brainwashed now and so upset by people's words that they go out and try to take someone's life and assassinate them. I mean, they tried with Trump. I mean, there's some other people I think as well that got, shot at and threats, but now we're at the point where just random people, like, it's not even like, I don't know. I mean, maybe as well too, people get crazy. Perhaps maybe this is orchestrated. I don't, nowadays, like, listen, man, the way things, the more information I have, dude, everything seems like a psyops now, every day anyways. Like, who knows who could be involved with this? Like, the more you look at things, the more you start to actually realize what's going on and actually see the truth, and not like, it's not conspiracy theories, and see how many people die and get shot and taken out when they have information, and Anthony Weiner's laptop information, and Bill Clinton and all these Bill Clinton people getting capped, and everyone getting shot associated with certain people who know certain things. I mean, who knows what is actually happening? How many, maybe these dudes are MK Ultra, maybe these guys are, like, I mean, like, even like crazy stuff like the Una to Ted Kaczynski, like, that dude literally was part of MK Ultra, and then he loses his mind and goes out and lives in a shed and is like against the entire system. Like, dude, the signs are everywhere if you look at them. Like, you can see all this stuff going on, and it's not even like something out of a movie. It sounds like it's out of a movie, but it's actual reality. So then at the same time, I'm thinking, like, was this guy actually, and the people doing this, the same guy that shot at Trump, are these people actually, like, acting alone? Were they manipulated? Are they actually, freaking agents of whatever, of destruction and chaos? Or is it more so, like I said, the brainwashing of people and basically the guilty parties who should be charged with attempted murder, like MSNBC and all these other social media websites, all these social media influencers? But then, you know what? You're allowed to have freedom of speech. You're allowed to say what you want to say. And unfortunately, people are so crazy and dumb that, I mean, that really is true. Like, I want to get to the root here of a problem as well. And that is this. And that's, like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. Like, listen, I've had many IQ tests and many psychological visits, if you haven't noticed. So I kind of know where my IQ is. And it's definitely not around 100. It's at 60, but no, honestly, it's not near 100. That's for sure. But unfortunately, even those watching this video who think they aren't, most people watching this video, you're around that area. And at that point, most people lack the brain power. It's like trying to have a Subaru station wagon thinking you're going to win a Formula One race. You just don't have the horsepower, man, to be able to compete with those vehicles. And that's like the brain power of people, is that they just don't have the ability. It's as hard as it is to understand, is that people who even, and here's the thing, the dumber you are, the more likely you are to overestimate your intelligence and think you're smarter than you are. And in fact, the smarter you are, the dumber you think you are. And I always say that I'm smart enough to know that I'm stupid. But unfortunately, like I said, a lot of people with these IQs and brain power and the horsepower they have behind their car engine isn't enough to be able to even, like, win a bicycle race. And how can you expect them to not be manipulated? And even intelligence isn't even a good marker of being, manipulated or not. Like I said, I know many intelligent people who out here have Trump derangement syndrome and think the world's going to end because he's president, or, think that, whatever, any kind of pundit is somehow like evil, or like, it's so crazy. It's like, you can vote for Trump, guys, and not be a right-wing Nazi. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can vote for Trump and things are going to be okay. You can vote for Kamala or Biden or Gavin Newsom and not be a trans, left-wing, insane, granola crunching vestite, okay? I'm just saying, like, you know what? There is some kind of gray area there. And that's the problem, too, is that people in social media and also, like I said, clickbait, rage bait type Call of Duty content creators that are involved with politics, even on mainstream, are doing nothing but sensationalizing this whole thing. And that really is what's leading to what's going on. These people are to blame for society's problems, because that's what reality these people have. That's what shapes these people's reality, the news and information around them. You are a product of your environment. 99% of people are products of their environment. And these people are manufacturing a reality that's really not real, that's amping things up. And like, the funny thing is a lot of these people too, and that's the whole thing with politics. And that's what pisses me off about politics as well, is that, like, left wing used to mean this, but now it means that. Right wing used to mean this, now it means that. Like, the whole game has flipped, because these people really don't even believe what they're saying anyways. They just go with whatever's popular so they can stay in power and keep making money and just keep doing insider trading like Nancy Pelosi and be worth $500 million with better, trading skills than a fucking AI computer on Wall Street. I don't know. I kind of rambled on a bit with this video. I don't know if there's anything else I really have to say, but I will say that the situation that is occurring in America and the world is absolutely ridiculous. And unfortunately, lines are being drawn in the sand now. Like, I mean, when you're shooting people for their opinions, those are pretty big lines. And unfortunately, you're going to have to start to pick a side, I think. Or, you know what, you can just tap out and not even be involved. And that's another thing, too. Like, how many people are actually, I know this is happening, like, he got murdered, but like, how many people are actually even involved in this? How many people even care? I don't know. Like I said, some random guy at a golf course apparently had an opinion and was wishing other people died first. So I don't know how many people actually believe this. I don't know if the internet is an accurate representation of reality, just like Call of Duty, for the reference of people watch my channel online, is an accurate representation of the actual, people who play the game. Are we a vocal minority, vocal majority? But at the same time, the way the world's going and the rules and laws and policies are being, put in, I think it's safe to say that the left has gone way too far, and there needs to be some kind of balance, because in Canada, it's falling apart because of Justin Trudeau and his insanity. And now you're trying to get some more moderate. We did basically launch this. We need some people who are moderate and normal shit being said. And I think that's what Charlie Kirk was trying to say. I didn't think he said anything crazy, yet I don't know. Okay, I'm rambling on, man. I'm just going to end the video. People asked for it. I gave it to you. I hope it was good enough. This is just how I felt. Didn't really have any script. And, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Let's all trying to fucking relax, guys. Like, Jesus, everyone just needs to chill out and just, like, let people speak. And, like, if you don't like what they say, then just move on. People can think different things. All right, I'm out. Bye.